Ricky here with Breaking Your Barriers on our segment Leadership. And today I got my friend online with me who's going to be discussing his take on leadership because everybody has their own values, their own philosophies, their own thoughts when it comes to leadership. This man is somebody I can proudly call a leader. Not only is he a leader in one of the organizations that we're both involved with, he's also a leader that takes decisive action with what he does in his life. So it is with great honor and a pleasure to have my friend Steve Itskowitz on our segment Leadership. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
You must be a glutton for punishment, Ricky. This is the second time you've had me in a month, actually. I wonder what you did to actually deserve this. All joking aside, thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here with you.
Man, I couldn't even get back to you on that one. I was like, you know what? That's funny. I want to share with our viewers as well as just those who want to find out more about leadership because everybody has their own take on it. You've shared quite a few different points since I've known you with regards to leadership. But the first question I want to ask you, and this is on behalf of you folks who are listening, the first question I have is, what does leadership mean to you?
When you think of leaders, bosses, people in charge, you often picture the person behind the desk that is barking out orders. You know, the old boss says go, a leader says let's go together. To me, leadership comes in a few different ways. One, even though you're leading a team, you should be the backbone and the support of the team, even if that means you're last in line. Say you're walking together in formation, military or otherwise. I love the leader that will get behind the team, to be the backbone and the support system, to look over them, to have their back. I remember I had a job interview with a gentleman at a company called Winder Farms, which is direct grocery delivering to homes, taking out the middleman, supermarkets, things like that. And during the interview, he had a big desk, nice office, and I assumed he would be behind the desk and I would be in front of it. Well,
Mhm.
I sat down, there was a chair to my left. He sat down in that chair right beside me, and we had an interview that turned into a very nice conversation. That's leadership, understanding that you are working with the team for a team. They are not working for you. They are not lucky to have you. You are lucky to have them because a leader is only as good as the very people willing to follow them. You're the backbone, you're the support system. You are willing to do what you need them to do. If they can't do it for whatever reason, you're setting the right example. You're self-sacrificing because you know that the more you help your leaders, the more they're going to help you, and the more that is going to propel you to higher levels of leadership while you're looking for other leaders that you think lend themselves nicely to a leadership team. So that's what leadership means to me.
That's an amazing answer, brother. And I love what you shared with regards to the gentleman sitting next to you. And from my point of view, personally, is this man is willing to be in your position because he's willing to do what he's got to do to make sure that he gets the job done. And more importantly, to make you realize I'm not this and you're not this. We are this. And without you, we don't have this organization. We don't have this team. So he's looking out for your best interest. And more importantly, he actually genuinely cares for you, for who you are as a person. I love that. That's amazing.
Yes, and well surmised by you. You have supreme listening skills. Another great sign of a leader, and something I'm always working on, by the way. So good stuff.
Absolutely, brother. And one thing I'd love to find out, because you have taken on so many leadership roles in your life, I'm just curious, who in your life personally do you admire based on the leadership skills they've shown you, which you may not even have known during that time because you may have been so young? However, I'm sure memories come back and you're thinking, wow, that person was an amazing leader. Who did this for you? Who was that person for you?
I think it's a couple of people. One, Michelle Turley, who I went to high school with, who during 2011, I was going through my version of the depression of 2008. It was just a very rough year financially. And she counseled me in 6 different sessions. And the common theme was get out of your comfort zone. You need to expand your mind, and you need to expand how far you go in this life. So she said, get out of your comfort zone. And then I joined Toastmasters. And in Toastmasters, I have been well out of my comfort zone for years now. I'm a division director for the second time. I've been on several district committees. I've created clubs. I've helped clubs achieve excellence. I've gone to board meetings. I've voiced my opinion on certain matters.
You're a champion.
And I'm a champion, yeah, just like you, and a qualified speaker. I mean, I joke that my Toastmasters resume in some cases is more impressive than my actual resume. But all joking aside, it started with Michelle Turley, 9 years ago, telling me, get out of your comfort zone, Steve. Clearly, you need to, take yourself out of your current space and put yourself into another space and expand upon that. And then within Toastmasters, a man by the name of Donald Herrera, he was the guy that got me involved in leadership in Toastmasters, or encouraged me when he saw my presidency of Brewmeisters in 2014, 2015. And he was a straight shooter. If he said that you could do better, he would tell you that you can do better. But if you were doing a good job, he would say that too. And he said, Steve, I remember he asked me, you want my opinion on how you're doing with Brewmeisters this year? I said, not really, but go ahead, since you asked. You're doing a great job. I said, wow, thank you. And he said, at one point he said, how would you like to maybe get involved in district leadership as an area director? He saw that quality in me. And Dan Kosek's another guy that saw that quality in me when he said, I see something special inside of you, that led to me getting involved in Founders District TV and district leadership and on the district leadership committee way back when. So between Dan Kosek, Michelle Turley, and Donald Herrera especially, those are the people that saw something in me and saw my potential in leadership. And I just, off of Michelle's advice, get out of your comfort zone, decided, why not? What have you got to lose? More importantly, what could I gain? I've gained a lot.
It takes a team of people to help us develop who we are and who we become. And you hung around quite a few amazing people there. All of those people are in leadership. They've taken the high road, which is a very difficult road to travel, and you followed in their footsteps. You've also gained what they've gained from just sheer attrition, having to go through the hardships that you've gone through, brother. So I really appreciate you for that. And there's something that I wanted to ask, which I would love to find out based on your experience as well as the years of experience of those who have gone before you. What are some of the weaknesses that we as leaders need to overcome? What are some of the weaknesses that you have experienced? What are some of the weaknesses you've observed that we need to overcome as leaders?
What's interesting is that the thing about being a leader is that you put a lot of pressure on yourself to try to get every little thing done. You can't do it. Again, you're only as good as the very team that you lead, but to be as good as the team you lead, you have to empower those people to step up and take care of that stuff. One, for your own sanity, and two, for their own growth. So as a leader, sometimes I felt like I got to get this done. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do that, as if I am by myself. That's not leadership. That's loneliness. And loneliness in leadership is about the worst place that you could possibly be. So as a leader, you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself to try to get every single thing done because you believe that's what you're supposed to be doing.
I love that. So your biggest key takeaway for any of our listeners is you need to be able to delegate. You can't take on
Exactly. There's the word, delegation. Yeah. When you empower, it's not being lazy. You still got to follow up. You delegate someone to someone. Here's what you do. Here's how to do it. Here's the resources you need. Go get them. I'm behind you. And then you got to follow up. There's a saying that we believe in God, we follow up on everybody else. So you got to follow up, and you have to, and you've got to adjust, and you've got to do all this. So your job doesn't stop. You're not being lazy. Delegating is not, go do it and I'm out. It's, I want you to do this. I believe you can do it. Here's what you need. And then you follow up, you adjust, you recalculate, you do all those things. And that ultimately allows you to be an effective delegator, but also an effective leader, because people see that you're not just passing the buck, you're handing the ball off, but you're also going to check in, after they've taken the ball and after the play stops, to use a football analogy here, to make sure that we are still moving in the right direction towards our ultimate goal.
That football analogy is Genius. The reason being is because can everybody be a quarterback? Absolutely not. And you
No.
as the leader, you as the coach, you as the leader need to
Yes.
determine, hey, Steve is strong in this point. Ricky is strong at this point. Johnny is great at that point. So they stick us in our different positions because they know that's our strength. And as a leader, we have to recognize that. We're not trying to pass off the buck. We are definitely seeing the potential within you.
The great thing about sports is that sports is the ultimate analogy for life.
Yes, it is.
Discipline, teamwork, dedication, sacrifice, glory, struggle, triumph, learning how to lose learning how to lose gracefully, learning how to win graciously. Every single thing about life, sports will bring out. So I'm a big believer in that.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask on behalf of our viewers another question, which I hope this question is going to help you. The question I have here is, can anybody become a leader? Steve, what's your take on this, brother?
Yes, anyone can become a leader if you know who you are. One thing I like to say, you got your strengths and your weaknesses. So in leadership, live your strengths or deliver your strengths, hire your weaknesses. Good leaders know themselves, know what they're good at, know what they're not so good at, and they put the team together. They take, they obviously live and deliver on their strengths because it comes natural to them, and they hire the weaknesses of the strengths of other people, in which those strengths that you don't have come naturally to the very people that you put around you.
Successful achievement of goals, it's not a point that you reach. Success in leadership is within. It starts inside here, and then it works its way outwards in everything you do. Thank you for that amazing
Couldn't
answer.
agree more.
Thank you, brother. And one thing I'd love to find out is, with regards to values as a leader, what do you hold in high regard as values that will make a leader a fantastic leader?
Example setting. Are you asking people to do things that you either have done or are willing to do yourself, if that's what it takes? Setting the right example, but also bringing a charisma, being a vocal leader, knowing how to motivate people with your voice, with your words, but also your actions, as in you ask people to do things that you are willing to do yourself or that you have done. So there's a credibility aspect to that. I love the example setting piece of a leader. And it's something that I've lived several times in my volunteer leadership in Toastmasters and in other areas of life. And it's very gratifying.
It's awesome, my man. Now I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick with something very positive. Give me your top five things that make an amazing leader.
I'll start with charisma. And these are in no importance, no ranking of order whatsoever. All of these are equally important, but in their own ways. So charisma, self-sacrifice, leading by example, self-awareness, inspiration. Why do you do what you do?
I love it.
I also can imagine, how far up on that mountain are you actually? How did you scale that thing? It looks pretty impressive.
Oh man, you see that? You see this little path right there? That's where I'm at right
Yeah.
now. I'm at the gift shop.
Machu Picchu. Here you come. Can you say Himalayas, anybody?
Himalayas, baby, Himalayas. Well, brother, before we head out, and I really appreciate everything you've shared, every gold nugget you've given, and just everything about what you've experienced in your life in this very short amount of time that we've been together. Is there one last thing you would like to share with our viewers who are looking to take on leadership roles? And mind you, I'm gonna go to share this first. We're not talking about being the next Gandhi or the next Mother Teresa or Martin Luther King. We're talking about whatever it is you personally want to achieve is up to you, and it's up to you how you fight your way forward. Now, how you're going to determine that? Take what Steve is saying, take what I'm sharing with you, and fly as far as you can with it. Sky's the limit. So, Steve, with that said, Is there anything you'd like to share with our viewers, your fans, buddy, and just anybody who's looking to get into leadership?
What
Last.
is the next discipline that you are going to conquer? Coming out of this pandemic, how much how much motivation, inspiration do you have to go for it and achieve a challenge that would literally blow your mind? There's no taking and time for granted anymore.
Mhm.
It's go time. It really is go time. We don't know when the next crisis in this country will be. There will be one, and it will get divisive, and it will get contentious, and it'll be a mess. But that doesn't mean you have to be a part of that. You can be the solution. So what are you going to go? What is the next challenge that you are going to conquer that will blow your mind, that is going to take anyone in society like they're stuck and make them realize that that's a side of life that is very small. There is something so much bigger that you could achieve. I'm currently writing a book, and it's the biggest discipline that I will have ever conquered in my life. That's how hard it is. And to publish it, it might be harder to publish it than to actually write it. Therefore, what is a challenge that would blow your mind if you achieved it, that you are going to achieve in this post-pandemic new normal environment that we are now living in? And how is that going to impact your life in terms of your day, your long-term, your enjoyment, your satisfaction, your fulfillment, so that when you get to that day where it's time to go to the next realm, you look back on it and you have absolutely no regrets. What will that challenge be that you will conquer? For me, it's writing a book and then going from there. What's it going to be for you?
Steve, thank you once again for all those gold nuggets. I'm not gonna stop thanking you. In fact, I'm probably gonna text you later on and say thanks, buddy. But thanks for
Thank
being
you.
hey, thanks for
I'm
being on the
honored by
show.
this.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Now I got to live up to it. So I need an accountability partner. So make sure I'm accountable to everything that I've said here. Well, thank you for this opportunity, holding me accountable, and for you being you and helping people break barriers, which we need more than ever. Really appreciate it, bud.
See you on our next video. Once again, this is Breaking Your Barriers with Ricky and my man Steve. Leadership.
Peace, everybody.